Call that a follow me, because that's even faster than an extreme speed. We are back here with finals. Giovanni Costa versus Patrick Smith.
Two players that we've seen just do incredible work today, and I'm also staying with both of these people, so I'm going to hear about how today was bad and good all day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, no matter who wins, you lose because you're going to have to hear about someone complaining.
Yeah, I agree. The focus really is on me.
Of course.
Just to reiterate the teams real quick, from Geo, we have Kangaskhan, Gengar, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini, Heatran, and Whimsicott versus Patrick's Tapu Fini, Amoonguss, Landorus, Therian, Tyranitar, Zapdos, and Metagross.
So Geo likes going for that Gengar Whimsicott mode, but Patrick has around as many tools to beat it as you could possibly ask for. Metagross Amoonguss is so good versus it. Tyranitar is so good versus it.
It's a lot harder, I think, than Alicia's matchup. Like, we know that at least I'm pretty sure that Tyranitar is not choice.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to just disable lock and disregard. It's something like you have to consider a lot more. The Amoonguss makes it so you can't just fake Tears Shadow Ball the Metagross, which was what you would do normally. It's pretty difficult. Again, like we said before, I would kind of like him to go to the Kangaskhan mode, but
it's Geo. He might not. I think the big key for Geo here is going to be utilizing that Heatran effectively, because without the Heatran, he struggles against the Metagross.
Yeah, so, even then, Stomping Tantrum.
That is true. He might have to. Okay.
He does it.
So that means that Geo's only option to really hit the Metagross is going to be with the Heatran, unless the Kangaskhan is using some throwback moves like Sucker Punch.
And it could be, but the Amoonguss, again, is just looking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's looked pretty amazing the entire tournament, which is one of the reasons that I did not miss Amoonguss at all in 2017.
So we do see the Kangaskhan and Whimsicott against the Amoonguss Tyranitar, and Geo is free to dish out damage here, but at the same time, you can't be too satisfied with it, because no matter what you do, it kind of feels like the Tyranitar is going to be able to get a Dragon Dance up, or Amoonguss is going to get a Spore up, and Patrick is going to be able to do something. You could just Tailwind here to try to negate the Dragon Dance, but even then, it feels rough. One thing Geo could do is just call the Spore and just low kick the Tyranitar. I mean, if he's willing to do that, that would be absolutely massive.
And I mean, switching to, it's Bulu, not Fini. I thought he was absolutely doing that. I guess he expects the Spore into that. No.
Well, I mean, even then, it's safe, because now you don't have to care about the Tyranitar so much. You can just dish out damage into the Amoonguss. You can even go for the Fake Out onto the Amoonguss, not care about the Tyranitar Dragon Dancing, and then go for the Wood Hammer onto it the next turn.
I mean, that must absolutely be a Fake Out, because you don't want to risk that whim, and, I guess you're just going to accept the low kick possibility.
Yeah. That looks like one hit, honestly.
Yeah, it's so fast. We're seeing Darkinium come out.
Oh, that's going to hit the Kangaskhan.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. I hope that was not a falsified hard read. I wonder if that KOs. I'm not familiar with the Z-move damage versus Kangaskhan too much.
I mean, regardless, it's going to be doing a ton of damage. And I really like this from Patrick. What he's doing is he's just getting all of his damage options out there now, because he knows that Tyranitar isn't going to be what wins him the end game. He's playing. It does survive, but he knows that the Metagross is going to be his key for victory, and he's just making it so that Metagross's job is as easy as possible here, and I really enjoy that. So the Tapu Bulu is in a good spot right now, assuming that Kangaskhan is going to be able to knock out the Amoonguss. But the big thing here is that Tyranitar is threatened, but there's also a question of, does Patrick even care?
I don't think he does, because Metagross just kind of has a walk in the park here. Like, he might be throwing a tantrum, but secretly he's really enjoying himself.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing Bulu just go right out to Heatran. Interesting, considering I thought he was going to go for the Z move, just trying to create that pressure, but it's obviously like a bait as you see Metagross come out to take.
I mean, that's a super smart switch from Geo. He knows that he needs to be scared of the Metagross. He needs to respect that appropriately, and he is doing that by switching into the Heatran.
No,
the berry
not
just
enough.
barely activates.
Amoonguss is just ridiculously bulky. Like, that berry just makes him last forever.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, you also have to remember that it also has Regenerator, and it can just fire off a Spore here onto the Heatran. If that goes off, that's... Oh, okay. It's not quite game over yet.
Not quite, but you have to consider that he has 2 Grass Fairies against Amoonguss Metagross. His only real out here is Heatran, and he's stomping Tantrum Metagross. No Heat Wave.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean... Geo could have the Shucka Berry.
He could.
That is a possibility, and if he does have that...
Yeah, that would change things a little bit. Especially if you could Tailwind here.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have that, then Patrick's just looking... It's looking a little
Yeah, it's looking not easy. The matchup is just pretty in Patrick's favor. That Amoonguss Metagross combo is just really hard for Geo's Archetype to overcome.
Okay, we do see the Heatran come back, wanting to preserve it for later on. Bulu doesn't care about a Stomping Tantrum.
It doesn't, but like, this is almost gasping at straws. There's so little he's really getting out of this.
Yeah, but he has to try to do something at the very least. And I mean, like we said, when there's a Rock Slide, there's a way. And for some reason, Geo has Rock Slide Bulu.
Because you need that flinching ability.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
well, he can Encore the Metagross now. That's a way to deal with it. He's at least, like, considering his outs. It's just like that can happen.
Yeah. Let's see if Sludge Bomb's able to easily one-shot the Whimsicott. But what he does have is he does have the Heatran under Tailwind now. And he could flinch. He could flinch the Metagross with Rock Slide and KO the Amoonguss, and then things could get a little interesting.
Well, okay, so Geo comes in, Heatran, he attacks. There's very little reason, I think, not to Rage Powder.
Yeah.
Unless you're going for a hard read, you need to flinch in order to carry that momentum.
Yeah, no, Geo, I mean, Patrick should absolutely be Rage Powdering here. And it's just a matter of, I mean, Patrick could even just double protect to try to stall a Tailwind, honestly.
No, there's like nothing even wrong with that. There's very little, like, we know Geo sets at this point. He can't like sub on the double protect and create the situation. You're just burning Tailwind for free, essentially.
Yeah, and I mean, you need to remember that Patrick still has a full health Tyranitar in back and a full health secret Pokemon, and it's a matter of what is he gonna do with that?
All right, I really hope he went for Rock Slide. He has to recognize that out. Yeah. Flamethrower coming out. That Amoonguss should not be able to take it.
KO it.
That took forever.
Oh yeah, that was so weird.
All right, Rock Slide, Willy won't he? He's going for it. He didn't miss.
Oh, let's see here.
Oh my.
Oh,
wah wah wah. And will we see Shuckaberry?
Nope.
We will not. Okay, so that's a game for Pat. It's so hard, honestly. Like.
Oh yeah, I mean, Geo has to go back to team review and rethink this out because Double Grass is just not a viable option into Metagross Amoonguss. I mean, let's go back and look at what he has here. His other tools are he does have the Tapu Fini and he does have the Gengar. And I mean, it's hard to see what he can do there, but I feel like he has to go with the Gengar just in order to just have some extra pressure against the Metagross.
It's so difficult, like
because if you're giving up Kangaskhan,
but you also have to like one of the Geo's primary methods for getting around Amoonguss is I can attack you because my Whimsicott doesn't care, my Bulu doesn't care.
Yeah.
But with the Pokemon that Amoonguss is supporting does not care about any of those options, like his plan starts to kind of crumble apart.
Oh yeah, I mean I think that Geo is going to have to go for a lead that he hasn't been using. He can't go for one of his set plays because his set plays aren't working. He needs to go for something like a Gengar or Heatran or something just weird like that and just try to get something rolling here because you can't bring Kangaskhan, Bulu, and Whimsicott versus a Metagross and expect to win. That's just not.
And you can't even go for that really cool Soak play because it doesn't work long term.
Yeah, and the Metagross is just faster.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so difficult. I don't know. There might be an out, but I'm not seeing any substantial ones. He's locking in immediately. Maybe he knows something we don't.
I mean, I'm sure he spent like the last 5 minutes thinking about what he needs to do to win. I mean, if you're Patrick, I don't see a reason to differ from what you did. I mean, Amoonguss T-Star is a phenomenal lead against Gengar Whimsicott too, so it's like...
And even if you lead the same thing, you at least see the plan that Geo came up with to try and combat that.
Exactly.
Which allows for like a much easier Game 3 adjustment if it even comes to that point.
Though, if you do lead something slightly different, it could throw Geo's plan entirely off accidentally, and you can't discount that value.
I can't. All right, Sally Menace sending out these Pokemon. Amoonguss Metagross, not going for the Tyranitar. I mean, that's still pretty much just as effective as the Tyranitar lead.
Yeah.
Gengar Bulu, not quite what we needed here. The Gengar does scare the Metagross normally, but with the Amoonguss helping out and the Bulu, which really doesn't pressure either slot, it's looking difficult.
I mean, you kind of have to wonder what's stopping Patrick from just going for the Rage Powder and picking off one of Geo's Pokemon.
I would say nothing.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is the Gengar going for the Disable onto the Amoonguss, in which case then it's like, okay, just target down the Gengar instead.
Yeah, but even then, like, you can Rage Powder that away. You can try and Spore him while he goes for it. I mean, of course, this comes down a bit to playing the game, but Gio's playing a game in which he has to run up a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. So Bulu does switch out. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's against the Metagross and the Amoonguss.
I mean, I think Bulu must have been led just as bait to try and get Patrick to react a certain way so Gio can set up a situation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, baits aren't guaranteed. You can't control a person, truly.
Right. I mean, if he is able to get a Disable off onto the Amoonguss, I think that could be enough to swing it, but otherwise I have a very hard time seeing what it can be.
I agree. Like, I hope it's Protect on the Gengar. It is. Okay, that's pretty much what you need to do to then create that situation. And you can't have the Spore from Amoonguss, which you don't. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Things are working.
Patrick's in too good of a spot to risk going for the Spore here. The Rage Powder just makes too much sense.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
He's not that good.
Oh, yeah, he's not that good.
But now that's 150 base power.
And you have to realize that Metagross basically gets to pick its target here. Even if you disable the Rage Powder, Metagross is free to attack either one. And it's going to pick up the KO, no matter what.
You could see Gengar switching out here, predicting a Stomping Tantrum into it, and then just try to get a lot of damage onto the Amoonguss with Heatran. And I think if you're Gio, that's kind of what you're trying to do here. You can't afford to let Metagross get a free KO here, but if you can make it hit into a slot that doesn't care about Stomping Tantrum, then you potentially have outs.
It's rough. I mean, he has to rely on conditioning Patrick just the way he wants. And he has Whimsicott Bulu, so even if he has that conditioning, it's still difficult. Oh, the double switch into the grasses?
But I don't know what he can do with that, though, because it doesn't matter. There's no winning condition. It's just a matter of, okay, sure, you survive the Stomping Tantrum.
I got you.
That's nice, but then what comes next?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it was like a short-term plan that kind of makes sense, but in the long term, it was really just like a splash in the ocean.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think with Gio, he's doing a lot of things that like help him stay alive in the moment, but it's hard to see the long-term game plan here. It just seems like he's just doing what he can to survive here. I wouldn't be surprised if he just tries to switch Tapu Bulu out into the Heatran just so he can take an Iron Head or something like that.
And even then, what are you accomplishing with that? Trying to get the... you could go for the Encore here, I guess. That makes that... No. Tyranitar coming out, setting up that sand. Just a nice little chip away at Gio's stuff.
This gives Giovanni an out here. If he can get his
the hard
Heatran in
read,
safely without support. Oh, now that's interesting.
If we get some hard reads, this is what Gio needs. That's the kind of situation that he has to enable. And I'm surprised it worked out that easily for him, just because Amoonguss felt pretty safe. Encore does come out. Tyranitar is not... Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a step.
I don't know. I mean, it really feels like if Patrick just stayed in there and kept going for the Stomping Tantrum and the Sludge Bomb into the Tapu Bulu slot, that Gio couldn't do anything. And... I don't know. It kind of feels like that was a bit of a donation on Patrick's end.
I mean, Gio has to rely on sort of Wet and Wild play. I think he's trying to burrow himself more into Patrick's psyche, while Patrick is just kind of like... I think he's more focused on preventing Gio from doing what he wants instead of doing what Patrick wants.
Right, and the board positioning is so good for Patrick that if he just changes his focus and makes sure that he's playing strongly and just isn't giving Giovanni anything, then he should be winning this. But that was a little bit of a misstep. That was a lot of a misstep.
Metagross comes out. The interesting situation, I think, is that he could potentially try to get an Encore lock going on. Like, his gameplay plan has to be, I'm going to lock Metagross into a move it doesn't want to be locked into and take advantage of that time frame.
Yeah, but the problem is that Whimsicott doesn't have Protect.
Yeah.
And Metagross can just go for the Iron Head onto Whimsicott freely, and
pretty free.
It's hard to get an Encore lock when you're dead.
Yes. In fact, I'd say impossible. Well, we do see the Tailwind just trying to make the most out of Whimsicott's turn. I kind of would like to see the Z move, but I think he's just afraid of throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get the Tailwind so the Heatran's at least outrunning the Metagross so you have something. The big thing is just, there we go.
Yeah, easy U-turn.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that the Amoonguss is sitting next to the Metagross, because if you can Rage Powder away the Flamethrower, because Gio does not have Heat Wave, it's just so hard for the Heatran to do anything of value. It's impossible for Geo to really touch the Metagross at that point.
The damage is nice. I won't deny that. The damage is nice. Well, okay, so...
Ooh, but he does knock himself out.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst thing that could happen. It's like you at least get your more offensive Pokemon in.
Okay,
you have Tailwind.
Patrick has real shot to lose this because if Geo is able to knock out the Amoonguss and keep his Gengar alive, then he actually has an out here. And that could be accomplished if Patrick decides to not... I mean, Tailwind is up right now.
Yes.
So this could be accomplished in a lot of different ways. You could go for the Protect Heat Wave, or he could just... Or Protect Flamethrower, I guess. Or... I mean, yeah, actually, that is the only way.
I mean, I think it's another situation where Rage Powder looks really nice, but, like, you kind of have to be careful in picking your targets. If he went for Heatran, that could be huge.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Wow, that is a bold... No, I think he just went for the double Protect, actually. Yeah,
okay.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Respect it.
Because what you want to do there is just bait out Geo's Protect, because the big thing is just making sure that you're just chipping away at Gengar, Heatran's options. And, hey, right there, he made it so that he wasn't just throwing in case Geo decided to go for the Disable. So very smart play by Patrick there. There was nothing that was stopping the double Protect there.
Not at all. Grassy terrain's gone. Does it really matter at this point? Yeah.
Okay, so if Heatran is able to knock out the Amoonguss here, there is something that Geo can do, but yeah, Geo just really expects this Stomping Tantrum to come out onto Heatran, which makes a lot of sense here.
Seeing Disable again. I mean, okay, cool. But can we, like, it can't be Stomping Tantrum. It's Stomping Tantrum.
And that's onto the Heatran, and that's just going to be an easy
KO
man,
if he could have, like, taken the hit, there was a chance for victory, but, like ×4 ground weakness, just too much.
Yeah, and now all Patrick really has to do here is just get a Spore off or Protect and switch out, and just try to set up another Amoonguss Metagross situation. He should have this very easily.
Yeah, I think we were about to crown a champion. One with a face mask and a disease. One with, putting his life on the line quite literally.
The man who just only has that one shirt. The one Golden State Warriors shirt. But, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an anticlimactic end, but it really does show... Geo's team, it has so much cool options, and it's able to do a lot.
Yes.
But when you're really focused on just exerting your own strength, a lot of the time, you just leave matchup holes that you can't recover from. And I mean, there, it just seemed like no matter what Geo did, Patrick was just going to win that.
I mean, congrats, Patrick. Patrick's probably the one who would, like, say the least things about hearing it tonight, so, like, not a bad ending.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do see... Patrick's team there was very cool. We saw the Metagross Amoonguss just do massive amounts of work for him throughout the entire tournament. And I think that it's pretty safe to say that Amoonguss was his MVP there.
Oh, easally.
It just took so much abuse and was able to set up so many cool situations.
Yeah, it was really just sitting around, letting Patrick control the tide of the match.
All right, well, that's going to be it from us.
Do you have any shout-outs, Geo? Or Geo, I'm sorry.
Patrick.
Gavin.
Do you have any shout-outs? Do you want to thank anyone? Shout-outs to Geo.
Yeah, shout-outs to Geo, dude.
The real winner here of second place.
I want to give a quick shout-out to my grandmother. Miss you, always will love you. Peace, fam.
My pleasure. See you guys.